as it stands, there's a lot of people that fucking want my life. And I think it's about time I start paying attention to that instead of sitting and pretending that I'm like, oh, you know, because I'm not. I'm really not. I've always felt guilty for being a big, strong man. I've always felt.
And of you out there who actually have a fucking heart in your chest, even the ones that are sitting there like, okay, you were right, positive stuff, like, good, he's making a new leaf. You need to understand, you treated me like shit, and I almost died several times, but that is on your conscience.
Or I'll end up beating my own mother. And, like, that's who I am. You can judge me.
Don't go too far, I need to smack you so you don't make babies. Don't go too far, I need to smack you so you don't make babies.
Whining! Whining! All the time! Complaining and whining all the time! Seriously?
Hi, guys. So my question is, how do you do it? I see how life is now. Why the hell are any of us alive? I'm not even depressed, and I'm saying that. Everybody's miserable. You know? Like, pretty much everybody. And most people are faking it. I'm not faking it. I have my joy inside, but I'd say that I'm, like, socially miserable because I'm surrounded by miserable people. And I didn't know that that's really how things were, you know? Because of my naivete, people were nice to me. And they were just, I guess, didn't take me seriously and push me off. And now that I know how the world works, I'm treated like a normal person, and that veil is lifted, and everybody is miserable. And I didn't know that. And now I'm sitting here like, how do people do it? Like, how can people be so miserable and still get up in the morning every day? Like, how does anybody live like that? I'm breathless over it. I'm just blown away. They're outside feelings, and you don't get to call me by name because you don't know me. Guys, this is the other thing. It amazes me, the insane level of narcissism in this world as well. Where people don't have, like, you don't know me at all. To any of you watching, right? Even if you like watching me, I appreciate that. Either way, you don't know me. It amazes me how people will come in and call me by name. Like they know me, just to challenge me. Like I'm important. And then tell me I'm not important. I must be so fucking important to you. I must be. It's amazing. I mean, look at this. How is this important? How on earth is this considered important? Look at this. This is not important. You know? Like, I'm not unimportant, but I'm not that important. People take me way too seriously. Way too seriously. I just came on to complain. I came on to have the conversation and say, I did not know that the world is this miserable. I didn't know any of you were this miserable. What the hell is wrong with everybody? Like, what is wrong with people? Seriously. The world is not that bad. Is not that bad. I love the system we live in. It has a fantastic ability to absorb these issues and continue to shift things and make them better. At the same time, we're at a point in American history where everybody is sick and miserable for the most part. And I feel trapped and attacked. And that's not paranoia. When you use common sense, that's not paranoia. I am surrounded by miserable, angry people that if I show a shred of happiness, it is an opportunity for them to pounce. And they do. You know, I just want out of the cage. That's all I want. Admittance that I am being passive-aggressively shoved into a corner. And then a little bit of freedom to say, hey, there's the door. I'd like to walk out. I'd like to leave. And I'll show you a better way. Be like, hey, you know, I don't have to change you. Let me go do it. I'll show you how it works. And maybe you guys can just learn from it a little bit. But I'm telling you, this is not how it's done. It's just not. There's simple facts about life. No amount of popularity bias, even a couple 100 million, changes it. It doesn't. It might affect your brain so much that if you don't have the discipline to understand it, you're going to disagree with me and write it off. But I mean, there's simple ways to live life that worked for thousands of years. They still work. Nothing's changed for the most part in reference to that. And we don't live them. We don't live them. And then we complain when things don't go our way. And that's just how it is. A lot of you wanted me to just see how it is. And you should have been careful with what you wish for, right? Because now I see how it is. And now I'm saying how it is. And now I'm seeing it even better than the people who taught me what to see. But what they expected was that when they pulled back the curtain, I would want to dance on stage with them. And I'm like, you're fucking sick. Like, this is twisted, and I'm not interested. You know, whatever the design here is, I keep trying to buy myself in. But then I feel so guilty and I hate myself because I know I don't want a part of it. I don't want a part of it. You can have it. You can have the money, the fame, everything that comes with it. It's disgusting the way that it's being done. And the ends do not justify the means. And people that think that it does, I mean, they've lost their sanity completely. And they've lost their peace. For me, my peace has no price. Love and peace in my heart, they are the paramount. And they're not going to be stepped in on, no matter the situation. And there have been a lot of people who fought really hard to shake my spirit and make sure I get rid of that. And it almost worked. And I've done some disastrous things. You guys have seen that. And even now, I'm just, like I said, I am depressed. I can relate to it. But I have that joy in my heart because I maintain a peace about who I am. And I make sure to remember that part of where I'm at does include others. That even though I am responsible for my actions, I have to remember I am not solely responsible for my actions. Anyone that believes that you are solely responsible for your own actions has cut them. You're disassociated from reality. Because the reality is, as a human race, as a species on this planet, we are connected with one another. That's just how it is. No different than other animals run from rain or, run from a storm. We're animals. And so it's kind of just built into us. We don't need to think too much about it. And I didn't know that people didn't know that. I thought people just had common sense. You look at the flesh on your bones, you're a human being. You're an animal in this kingdom. And we are more than that. I agree. But at our core, things are pretty simple. We're just human beings. And people put so much extra thought into that. And we dress up and we try to make it whatever story we can make it. But when that's at the cost of how we feel inside, or whether or not we like ourselves, it's not worth it. You might as well throw away the uniform. That's just my personal opinion. That if you're going to be miserable either way, what are you really fighting for? If you are embodying the thing that you're fighting for, and you're miserable, and then you go and you fight for that idea, but you're fighting for an idea that's making you miserable, what on earth are you doing with your life? I don't care if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, if you're in the military, if you're sitting here and you're an influencer. It's everybody fighting for one cause, but when I stand back and look, it doesn't look like there's a cause. Like, what's the cause? Like, we're fighting for nothing. What's the cause? Everybody's miserable. We're fighting so hard to prove we're right when our system, I think is pretty good. But we're like using it as a weapon instead of just using it as the tool it was made to be. And then blaming our ancestors and saying that because the country was started off poorly, that, it's their fault that we're doing poorly now. They've been dead for hundreds of years. Just keep on, when they started their country, they blamed the British. Now here we are, blaming them. Who's the next to blame for our own miseries? It's our own misery. People just want to sit back and eat their Cheetos. And you can do that, that's fine. But you're fucking miserable anyway. So maybe, I don't know, go on YouTube and look up something important. Save your $3. Put it into something more productive. Or enjoy your Cheetos while you watch YouTube. Or just do something that's going to make you really happy instead of continuing to shove that shit down your throat expecting it to change the way you feel indefinitely. Because it doesn't. It just doesn't. I've been there. I've been Domino's almost every day. I've been the fast food life. You saw that. I've been all those different ways. And they only destroyed my body and my mind. And I'm not some holistic person. I'm just a dude who's sick of the drama and sick of the constant misery. And I'm not going to live it anymore at any cost. I'd rather die than go through it. There's no reason for it. It doesn't have to be that way. People choose it and then say they're not choosing it. This is me letting you know that I'm not choosing that anymore. I'm choosing to just be myself and let things flow and to roll with the punches